It's located in Rancho Rio, and Ty Yost put up Rancho Rio, which is the main, one of the main places to go rope down there. And you cannot rope with not riding past church at Rancho Rio.
God has laid a burden on our hearts to plant this church for wintertime visitors. We descend on Wickenburg, Arizona, rope, play pickleball, golf, from all over the country and literally all over the world. And so we decided, under the unction of God, to start a church that preaches the gospel every week for a diverse group of people.
Found out about the church through the Facebook page, attended myself on the very first Sunday, and by week 2 I was out at the front of the tent passing out Connect cards and communion cups, and it was crazy because by week 3 we were already pulling out every chair we could find.
We meet in this big white tent, and we put 250 seats in there, chairs in there, and God has just been packing it out. And so come inside, let us show you around a little bit. Yeah, a couple of things that's really just set my heart on fire again, being down here. It's just, we prayed, we told the Lord, we're all in if you want to use us. And we get here, and now we're meeting so many believers that were praying also for a life-giving church here at Rancho Rio.
Life in Wickenburg was great, but there was a huge hole missing in my life with church, and Rancho Rio has been able to fill that hole in a huge way for me since moving down here.
I mean, you got from every state west of the Mississippi and some of them east of the Mississippi that come down there, Alaska, even Hawaii, you know. I mean, them people are going to go back home to their own states and spread the word and help trying to bring people to Jesus. I mean, in my opinion, you couldn't have planted a church in any better spot.
Diane and I began to pray and seek the Lord, and placed our hearts to, and gave us a vision of erecting this tent at Rancho Rio Arena and beginning to proclaim the gospel. We have been so encouraged by our National Berean Fellowship churches. They have been so encouraging. Many individuals and many of our local churches actually sent money to help us purchase the tent, the sound system, the chairs, etc. And it has been really a Berean Fellowship church plant. And that has been neat because our Berean Fellowship exists to plant churches and strengthen churches that make disciples that reach the world. And so to live that out has been a great encouragement to us, and we are so appreciative of the different Berean churches that have donated generously so we could do this.
Yeah. In fact, we've been sharing with Church at Rancho Rio that we're a Berean church. We're the first Berean church in the state of Arizona. That's pretty exciting. And they're like, what's Berean? Like, they don't even know what Berean is. So we've been able to share where we get our name from, Acts 17:11, and that we're a part of a bigger church family. It's not just us. We're not alone. That we are a part of an amazing fellowship of churches called the Berean Fellowship.
So again, just encouraging to see the Spirit of God working in lives, bringing conviction of sin, convincing that Jesus Christ really is the way, the truth, and the life, and then bringing conversions to people. Back in 1992, Diane and I started at Mitchell Berean Church and the Berean Fellowship, and we have been enveloped by the grace and love of our Berean Fellowship. 8 years ago, we were asked to be president and wife, and we have loved serving in this capacity.
So fun.
And it has been amazing to see the help that God has brought into our fellowship in the last 8 years. But now God is reassigning us back to local church ministry. We, while it's very hard to leave the Berean Fellowship as president, we are going to stay in the Berean Fellowship, but we feel God is having us focus on Church at Rancho Rio investing in people here, and then sending them out all over the country and world to bring health and life into local churches. And so in July, we will be finishing our tenure as president-wife. Although it's hard, we do see that God is reassigning us in this way.